Get ready to groove into the new year with a legendary voice that's about to take you on a soul-stirring journey. Tony Blackburn OBE, the broadcasting icon who's been the heartbeat of UK radio for decades, is set to host a brand new weekly show, Tony Blackburn's Sounds of Soul, exclusively on BBC Sounds and Radio 2. But here's where it gets exciting. This isn't just another show, it's a celebration of soul music, expertly curated by the man who's been championing Motown and soul since the 1960s. And this is the part most people miss. The show kicks off on New Year's Day 2026 at 1 to 2 a.m. on BBC Sounds, followed by a one-off 3-hour special on Radio 2 from 4 to 7 a.m., promising a feel-good journey through timeless classics and modern hits. Tony's passion for soul is unmatched. From hosting dedicated soul programs on the BBC to his beloved Sounds of the 60s and Golden Hour shows, he's a pioneer who's brought the genre to generations. In his own words, "I'm absolutely thrilled to be playing the music I've always loved, from classic soul hits across the decades to modern-day gems. It's going to be amazing." But here's the controversial bit. While some might argue that soul music is a niche genre, Tony's ability to make it universally appealing proves otherwise. Isn't it fascinating how one voice can bridge generations and tastes? Helen Thomas, head of Radio 2, couldn't agree more. She calls Tony a true pioneer of soul and R&B in the UK and highlights his warmth, deep knowledge, and lifelong passion for the music. This new show, she promises, will capture everything listeners adore about Tony, and more. But let's pause for a moment. With so many streaming platforms and playlists, does traditional radio still hold the power to unite listeners? Tony's shows suggest it does, especially when they're as heartfelt and expertly crafted as this. Before you dive into Sounds of Soul, don't forget to tune in on New Year's Eve for NYE Sounds of the 60s with Tony Blackburn, 2 to 4 p.m. on Radio 2. He'll be ringing in the new year with 2 hours of 60s party anthems, including hits from the Beach Boys, Aretha Franklin, and the Rolling Stones. The twist? The second hour is entirely chosen by Radio 2 listeners. Talk about audience engagement. These new shows join Tony's already stellar lineup, including Sounds of the 60s, Saturdays, 6 to 8 a.m., and Tony Blackburn's Golden Hour, Sundays, 7 to 8 p.m. Fun fact, Sounds of the 60s is Radio 2's most listened to on-demand program on BBC Sounds, proving Tony's enduring appeal. Speaking of Radio 2, it's the UK's most listened to single radio station, boasting a weekly audience of 12.8 million, Raja Q3, 2025. Its star-studded lineup includes Richie Anderson, Zoe Ball, Fern Cotton, and many more, but Tony's unique charm keeps him in a league of his own. So, here's the question. In an era dominated by digital playlists, can a radio legend like Tony Blackburn still redefine how we experience music? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to follow for more updates on this soul-filled journey. Produced by Platform Media for BBC Sounds, Tony Blackburn's Sounds of Soul is set to become your new weekend essential. Get ready to rediscover your love for soul, one timeless hit at a time.